Hello, 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 and welcome to bulk Nahkwol time. This is the time of the day where you just down some Nahkwol and pass out in bed. But this is showing off my bulky Nahkwol now. In my preview video and all that nonsense, she was a 292 build, which doesn't really fit how I play. So I posted her stats in the community page. So she's down to 258 speed, which is still good, but she's like 19k HP, 1.3k defense, 130 effectiveness. You know, pretty good. So here we have a fight against Dancis. I forgot how to do these because I usually just do live RTAppetizers at the time, but this will probably be an Edeacracy depending on how long it is and how lazy I am. But yeah, this is X Dances X because you need to pronounce the X's. In the Moorslayer Guild in Global, they go for AOL, Karina, Stene, Aiden, and Lionheart Sermia. I go for Nahkwol, Handman, Nahkwol, Bellion, and Bryceria. Boy, looking at it again, both sides are just such a toxic. Look at these units. Oh, both sides. Ew. Ew, ew, ew. Hate it. My Nahkwol does outspeed, so we get to see her beautiful animations, which I love everything about her except her kit. Her kit hates me. This is apparently a resistance AOL. So she's going to cleanse everything, but that's fine. Them picking LHC last pick, I didn't care about, because I knew they probably wouldn't ban Nahkwol. So I am going to just seal the LHC, and now there's not really anything that she can do. Handman, I could have pushed up the Bellion. I'm just going to give barrier to everyone. Just because probably not much to be done. Doesn't really matter. Nahkwol gets hit immediately and crit by the Stene because my Nahkwol only has like 2% crit resist. I provoke everyone except for the AOL, which is pretty good. Waste the Karina's first turn. Push up the Nahkwol, and I'm just going to start soul burning this into the LHC because I don't care and I want this LHC to be gone as soon as humanly possible. AOL can strip, she can do as she pleases. She only gets rid of 2 buffs because LOL. Unlike Nahkwol, or not Nahkwol, unlike what's her face here? Nahkwol, who gets rid of all buffs. Because that's the difference between a 4 and a 5-star. Anyway, Nahkwol takes offense to Bellion getting hit, which tickles me greatly. So I'm just gonna keep on keeping on. Get rid of the LHC, get another salvo. Stene's not quite dead, but she's still provoked, so I don't really care. Well, can't really do much, so they're just gonna end here. And that was a pretty good showing for Nahkwol, but I think we could show a little bit more, shall we? So in this fight, we are fighting, I don't know how to pronounce 2 blank squares. In the Lovery Guild in Global, they go for Stene, Arwell, Karina, Fire Lilias, and Aiden. I go for Nahkwol, LRK, Sharoon, Sage, Vivian, and Bryceria. They ban out Bryceria. I ban out Aiden. Let's see how she does in this match. So, she will be going first, which is to be expected. Gonna go ahead and reset everybody, hopefully. Reset anybody who cares. I miss the Karina, which is fine, and get countered by the Karina, which is fine. Lilias can't cleanse anything, so don't really care. I try to seal the Arwell. Doesn't work, so that's fine. But I have speed buff now, and Karina can only do so much. So they're just going to go into Sharoon, bring the Arwell, which is funny. I do get the Venom, but I don't get the resist, or I don't get the reset, which is weird. There's a lot of resisting in this particular fight. Just gonna S3, do a good amount of damage to everybody, including the Stene, because the escort buff is gone. Karina is gonna throw the S3 into Sage Vivian. Do an amount of damage, not enough, though. Stene gonna Soul Burn, hit the Nahkwol, but that's fine. They really want to try and kill this Sage Vivian, which is understandable considering she is my main DPS. But that's fine. Still not going to kill. Actually procs Chatty as well, so now I got a nice chunky barrier that Arwell will immediately strip. But who cares? Sage Vivian is going to do her thing and throw some trees at some people. This will kill Stene, which is pretty nice. Sharoon, you can just S3. The Lilias will probably be cleansing all of this, but that's fine. I just want to get rid of everything. The Arwell, again, resists both the speed down and the Venom. Lilias resists the silence. So I'm going to go ahead Soul Burn into Arwell. She resists the turn reset. I'm just like, oh my god. Why? They're going to S3, but there's not really any attack on their side, so it's not going to do much. Just going to go into Arwell. I was hoping to silence the Arwell, but it gets resisted. Because of course it does. So they're going to stun the Sage Vivian, which is unfortunate. I wanted to use that. They are going to punch the Sage Vivian in the face. Defense Breaker, do a good chunk. Lies, if you could bring Arwell. Okay, it procs Chatty though, so I don't take too much damage. Just going to keep going into Arwell at this point. Nahkwol, again, has all of her skills back. So, just going to do that. Bind Lilias and Arwell again. Missed the Karina, but that is to be expected. But I can seal the Karina because it does do that before the attacks. So, just going to attempt to reset the Karina. Again, get the Venom, but resist the turn increase. Sage Vivian, I had her S3 available here, but I was so focused on trying to Soul Burn S1 that I didn't even bother to even see if she was able to do that, which she absolutely was. So I should have S3'd there, but that's fine. We just get more time seeing Nahkwol. Lies, gonna go into Sage Vivian, bring Karina, of course, because there's no other unit to bring. So Sage Vivian's dead here, and that's unfortunate. But we have Nahkwol and Sharoon and LRK. And if I will have my way, this Elias will never ever take another S3 ever again. I get countered. Still haven't landed anything on the Arwell, so it must be very high ER. Like, absurdly high ER, because again, it gets resisted. And like I've been saying, my Sharoon and my Nahkwol both have 130 effect res, which means to be constantly resisting, this Arwell has like 200 plus ER, which is crazy. They're going to go into LRK. He already has his S3 available, so there's no reason not to. Gonna reset the Karina, get another counterattack. And guess what? Nahkwol gets to go again. Because she cycles like an absolute beast. Again, going to reset everybody. Speed down on Seal Elias. Never going to take a turn ever again. Never going to take an S3. I do get the seal finally on this stupid Arwell. They're just going to go into LRK. That's fine. Not really an issue. LRK is going to throw his S3 into everybody. The Lilias turns out to be a Holy Sack Lilias. And Arwell barely lives. I am going to attempt to silence the... Nope, I just kill the Arwell, because might as well. Everybody has immunity, so I'm not scared of much. They're going to go into Nahkwol for the first time. She's out of Guiding Light. Punch her in the face. Not going to do much. Resist the Venom. Sure. But now Nahkwol, ironically, has an attack buff, so I'm going to kill this Fire Alliance. And then Karina explodes, which tickles me greatly. So Nahkwol actually pulling through, like, long game. I really like this bulk build of her. She doesn't have to be hyper fast because there's no way in hell she's going to be able to speed compete with Seal Elias and all that nonsense anyway. Yeah, I like where mine's at. I'll show her stats again at the end and talk a little bit more, but let's have an extra little nibble, a bit of dessert, as it were. So the last fight we have today is against Shiro, smile. In the Salty Boy Guild in Asia, they go for Zio, Ran, Elena, Rowana, and LHC. I go for Nahkwol, Aiden, Jacko, Ed, and Celine. I pick Jacko because they went Zio and Ran, so I took their bridge away from them. And I picked Ed because Ed makes great use of Chains of Chiron. And Celine is actually pretty good into their team because it shows that I am not getting rid of Astromancer Elena because she just has a free non-attack skill, and that would just kill anybody. So they have to get rid of Celine. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of LHC because Ed will be doing a bunch of countering. Also, I find it funny picking Astromancer Elena and LHC in the same fight. It just tickles me greatly. Let's jump in and see how things went. Zio is going to be going first. He will probably be going into the Jacko because you don't really want to go into Ed and you don't really want to go into Aiden. Not that Aiden can counter, but still, you'd rather not push her up, if at all. Rowanna's going to S3. Aiden dodges, so she gets bumped up. Elena pops herself all the way up, gives them an extra 2 souls, making 60 souls. And then they make a bold choice. And that bold choice is going for an S3, which has debuffs. So Ed is going to get hit and counter. And yep. Yep. That's pretty much exactly what I wanted. And the sight of everyone with multiple debuffs on them from my Chains of Chiron Ed really, really tickles me. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. Let's go ahead and see my Nahkwol's stats. I love her design and everything about her, but her kit is toxic. Yeah, 131 effectiveness, 19,000 HP, 1.345 defense. Yeah, 258 speed. I like where she's at. I'm very, very happy with her. She doesn't need that many skill ups. I pretty much just did the cooldown. Nothing with the S2 because it's all just damage. And this one I got all the effectiveness, and that's it. But I'm enjoying her. She is maybe not all the way as game ruining as I thought she would be, but she is very, very disruptive and game ruining. Just not quite to the extent that I initially thought. So instead of ruining the game about 100%, she only ruins it about 80, which is good? Question mark? Maybe? But anyway, that's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching these videos. If you liked them, suck. If you did not like this video, probably because you don't like Nahkwol, and I can completely understand that. And if you felt incredibly ambivalent about the entire thing, look at those thighs. That's all I got.